Hi, good morning. I think you can guess what maybe we are doing today. I'm going to make these little Christmas tree earrings. I'll take one out so you can see a little bit closer. Let me see. Does that help? Does that help? So you can see, I think it's the wrong way around that way. But we've got a little Christmas tree earring there. Now, the thing is with these, they don't have to just be earrings. I think they would make great garlands, great tree decorations. So we're going to make the earrings in the tutorial. But we're also going to look at the different sizes. You can use different yarns and how you can make it into other things. I quite fancy the idea of a garland, but there's no point me doing a video on a garland, a video on the earrings, a video on tree decoration, because it's all the same pattern. So I've got to decide whether to actually put this up for a pattern yet. I can't make up my mind whether it's one that really requires a written pattern. I'm not sure. Depends what people would like. So I think we're going to get on with the video. Nice and quick. I've done it in this quite sparkly yarn and it is quite large, but again, we know how to scale down. And if you're not sure about scaling down, we'll talk about that in the actual tutorial while we get on with it. So I hope you like it. A little bit of Christmas sparkle, and they're so quick. So quick. They could be a last minute present as a Christmas decoration perhaps, or something like that. They will take you minutes to make. So I will see you in a moment, top down, to have a look on how to make these little earrings. I will see you in a moment. Hi, well, let's actually move on to the earrings now. You can see we have some sort of metallic yarns there. They are actually, this is what they actually are because they've lost the labels, those two, so that's why I've got this one. It's an Anchor Artiste metallic. Now, there are various versions of this. It is just approximately a crochet cotton that would usually require around a 2mm crochet hook. So depending on what you've got in your stash, that might be something you've already got. I don't know whether this is made like this, but there's loads of different versions of them. Now we're going to actually use a 2.5mm crochet hook, not a 2, which is a little bit larger, but it doesn't make that much difference. If you're a little bit nervous about using this size, you could easily go up to a 3mm. That wouldn't really make a huge difference either, and it might be a little bit easier to manipulate. Now the earrings are here, as you've already seen, and these are just the little jewellery findings I've got here. Now if you've not got any of these handy, but you don't want to buy any, perhaps you've got an old pair of earrings you want to just take the hook and a loop off, and you could use those as well. A little bit of recycling is always good. So I'm going to move the jewellery findings to one side. Some pliers here, that is just for those as well. Obviously I have my sewing up needle and my scissors, but basically that is it. We only need to keep one of these, don't we, on the screen so you can see what we're aiming for. We can move the red and we're just going to get on with this. Now, this is the second time I've done this video because I did it wrong. And I know sometimes I do warts and all and I show you when I'm going wrong, but there are times when it is really wrong. You can't do that. Now I've told you this is a quick and easy pattern. It is so quick and easy, but not when you're sort of talking about it at the same time. You need a little bit of quiet. That's the best way of doing this. I'm also going to show you one in a 4-ply and a DK double knit yarn just to make it nice and quick. But don't forget we are using UK terms, so you may need a conversion chart because we're using half trebles, and they're one of the weird ones when it comes to the conversions. So here we go, on to the hook. Don't do it tight. This is where I went wrong earlier. We're going to do 6 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now if you can do a granny square as well, you will find this very easy. It's a granny triangle basically. We're going to go into that first chain, we're going to grab the yarn and we're going to do a slip stitch through. We're going to do 2 chain, which is going to count as our first half treble. Now it's finding this hole that's the difficult bit, so you need to tighten up this one and you can see the hole a little bit better. So make sure you know where you're going before you set off. I know that sounds a simple obvious thing, but it's not. As I say, this is the area I went wrong on it earlier because I got carried away. I was talking and I realized I'd gone in the wrong place. So yarn is going to go over the hook. We're going to make sure we're getting the right space and we're going to pull it through. We should have 3 on the hook. Now because it's a metallic and it's a bit of a tricky mover, I'm going to go through a 2 and a 1. You can pull through all 3 if your yarn will allow. Yarn over into the hole, pull it through, but this one, like I say, can be a little bit of a monster and it falls off. Don't be put off by that though. Metallic yarn, when you use it after a bit, you get used to it, but it does feel very different to using one of the other yarns. We're going to do 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, yarn over into the space, and we pull it through and through. Yarn over into the space and pull it through and through. Again. Oh, that one went through all three. That was good. So what we've got now, we've got 3 half trebles, 3 chain, 3 half trebles. So we need another 3 chain there. 1, 2, and 3. And our last set of 3 half trebles are going in here. Well, last set for now anyway, because we've got another rounds to do yet. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So we now need to do a bit of a join, but before that we need to do 1 chain first. I don't normally do these chains, but for this particular one you do need it. So I've done a chain, and then I'm going to slip stitch in the top of this first two chain. They were chains, weren't they? I was going to say 2 trebles. Dear me, that's the only problem when you're used to doing a lot of granny squares, and I've been working on a lot of trebles doing V-stitches as well at the moment, so I've just got trebles on the brain. Right, we're just going to go into the top of the 2 chain, and we're going to do a slip stitch. That's all we're going to do, just to join it. Okay, now the space is not obvious now, but you know it's got to be, you'll have a 1, 2 and a 3 and a 1, 2 and a 3, so it's got to be between them. So give it a little stretch, and that is where you're going to go. So I need to do my 2 chain first. 1 and 2 counts as our first half treble. Make sure I'm in the right space, yarn over into that space, and another half treble, and another half treble. 3 chain, 1, 2, and 3. Back in that same space as these 3, you're going to do another 3 half trebles. It's like a corner on a granny square. Now, if you haven't had the pleasure of doing a granny square, look at that one, it's slipped out there. Keep still. I'm not concentrating. It will not stay in. Get in there. That's it. Please do have a go at one. They're very addictive. I absolutely love them. So that's 1. We need 3. 2 and 3. So that is like a little corner. So think of it as a corner. We're going to do 1 chain, which again is against the grain for me. If I'm doing blankets and anything, I don't do this 1 chain. But again, in this particular scenario, and particularly with this type of yarn, you do need to do it. So we're going to jump to this next corner, and you're going to do 3 half trebles. So some are going through, some aren't. It's as you get used to it, I think. That's 3. 3 chain, 1, 2, and 3. Back in that same space, another 3 half trebles, because it's a corner again. We need 3 corners. 2 and 3. 1 chain. Last corner coming up. It needs to be 3 half trebles. It needs to be 3 chain, 1, 2, and 3, and it needs to be another 3 half trebles. 1, 2, and 3, 1 chain. So you can see we've got like 3 corners, so we need to join this now to sort of finish this round off. So in the top of that 2 chain, pull it through and pull it through. So you can see we've got a tiny tree now. You could leave it at that size if you wanted. I just think it gives a little less definition on this size, so I'm just going to take it up a notch. So we need 2 chain. Now again, if you're granny square sort of au fait, you will know that this is classed as a side, this is a corner. Because this is a side, we're only having 1 set of 3, so this counts as our first one. So I just need 2 more to go in that hole directly below that 2 chain. This is my side one. So there you go. But the next one, because we have a 3 chain here, it needs to be a corner, which is 2 sets. So you have 3 half trebles, 3 chain, and 3 half trebles. So that's the first ones. 1, 2, and 3. And then into the same space, 3 half trebles. 1, 2, nearly caught the other corner though, and 3, 1 chain. Now the next one is a side. Let me make sure I'm not bringing this too close because that's when it goes blurry. And we're just going to do 3 half trebles. 1, 2, and 3. 1 chain. Next one's a corner, so we need a 3, a 3, and a 3. So 3 half trebles, or not. It's weird, it sort of slips off the hook very easy when it's the metallic. So that's my excuse. Could be just me. So that is 2. Nearly lost that one. And this is 3. 3 chain, 1, 2, and 3. The same space, 3 half trebles. So sometimes I'm going through all 3, aren't I? And sometimes I'm doing a 2 and a 1. It doesn't really matter. Just take your time. There we go. So we need a chain. And the next one is a side. So if it's a side, it's only 3 half trebles in there. That didn't want to go in either, did it? That's 1, 2, and 3. 1 chain. There's always that 1 chain in between. Corner time. So if it's a corner, it's going to be 3 half trebles, 3 chain, and 3 half trebles. So all the 3s. 1, 2, and 3. 3 half trebles. We're nearly finished. 1 more, and a chain. Slip stitch into the top of the 2. Pull it through, and we've done. Well, that is your, look at this. My scissors have gone magnetised because obviously I've got one of these sort of magnet, stuck to that one now, needle holders, and everything else that's been near it, this metal's gone magnetic as well. So every time I fix them up, it sticks to something else. Right, so we tighten that off. Now, obviously you're going to give it a little stretch like you would with any crochet. Get your corners nice and sharp. Again, the beauty of the metallic is it does actually stretch and hold into place quite nicely. Because look, I've stretched that one bigger than that one now. It's just purely how you position it. These ends all need sewing in, but obviously for now I'm not going to. I would recommend you do before you go on to the next stage. So I'm going to grab my red now. On my hand, ready. Now, you can choose, obviously your triangle should be roughly equal, so I'm going to try and keep away from that. So I'm going to go over to this side, and you can see those 3 half trebles there. I'm going to go either side of the half trebles. It will give you 4 stitches. So I'm going to just go into the stitch. I'm going to pick my yarn up, and it won't do it. I know it won't do it. It's going to play up because it's a bit slippy there. There we go. So 1 chain. Then I'm going to go back in that same stitch, all right, because that'll sort of anchor it rather than just using the chain. So it's anchored now. Now it's up to you whether you can crochet that in as you go or stitch it in afterwards. It makes no difference. I'm going to crochet as I go. So I'm only going to do 4 stitches. That's double crochets, I should say. That's 2. That's 3. And that's my 4 double crochets. I'm going to do a chain and I'm going to turn, and I go directly below that chain for the first stitch. So that is 1, that is 2, we have 3, and we have 4, and that is it. That's as long as I decided to do mine there. Obviously again you can alter that as it suits for yourself. Now let me just pull this through. And we've got a couple more ends there to sew in. But basically that is our little Christmas tree. This one is actually going to go on my tree behind me as decoration because I've already got a pair of earrings. So I don't want a pair of earrings, but I will just go through roughly what I did with the findings. Now I do have a pair of pliers here. I mean, that's a pair, 2 pair of pliers. And I just want to check. Now, if you've done some of my other videos, you know about opening a jump ring. I am not a jewellery expert in any way or form, but I do know how to open a jump ring. Basically, you twist it. Yep, so you twist it and you twist it back. Open it and close it, because otherwise you will sort of change the shape of the circle. So because we have a nice big hole there, I just popped it in. pop that on, hold it nice and tight, and close. That's it. So I'm going to be taking that off. I'm going to actually add sort of a little bit of ribbon or something for it to actually go on my tree. But that is it. So let's have a look, just out of curiosity. I have a 4-ply yarn and a double knit. In fact, I think we'll go for double knit first. And let's see how much bigger, because I think if I did a garland, I'd want to do it in the double knit. I also want a bigger hook now, and I'm going to actually go for a 3.5, which is my favourite double knit one, although a 4 is quite a common one for double knit. So we have our loop. It's exactly the same pattern, so I'm not going to sort of take too long doing it. I'm just going to sort of get a comparison here and show you how quick we can do it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And we'll do 6. We did 6 on last one. Don't really need to when it's double knit, but I have better keep it the same. And we join. You can see the hole's easier to see. We have 1, 2 into the hole. 2 more half trebles. Look how easy it is compared with the metallic. Again, I'm going to say that, and it's going to go dreadfully wrong. 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. Back in that hole with 3 half trebles. 1, 2, it's already nearly bigger than the earring. 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3, and 3 half trebles. 1, 2 and 3. 1 chain, remember I just did there, because I want to join it up with the first 2 chain, don't I? So we're going to go in the top of that. We're going to pull it through and pull it through. Now I want to tighten. There you go. I've tightened up my middle now because that looked a little bit loose. So you just should be able to pull your slip knot to sort of tighten that up. 2 chain, 1, 2. It's exactly the same as the other one. Make sure we go directly below. And we need 2 more half trebles. We need 3 chain, 1, 2 and 3. And 3 half trebles. Desperately want to do a treble. So we jump 1 chain and jump to the next corner where we do 3 half trebles. 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. I'm not expecting you to keep up with this. This is not what this is about. If you want to sort of follow the pattern, just follow the first one, but just do it in this yarn. This is just to show you sort of how big it can come out. So we have 1, 2 and 3. 1 chain. Jump to the next corner. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. I'm saying I want to do a garland. I'm not going to get time. I know I'm not, but it's the theories there. I can make one when I'm ready, can't I? Make it for next year. 3 half trebles, 1 chain and slip stitch join. Now already I would say this is the same size as our earring. So if you wanted to make a chunky earring, because I mean I suppose that's quite fine, but chunky jewellery is really in at the moment, seems to be anyway, you could make a massive one. Do one in really chunky yarn. People would certainly know that was in your ear. Right, we're going to do our 2 chain, 1, 2 directly below, half treble, half treble. You could do it in trebles if you use a thicker yarn. Again, I know I've just been using a chunky yarn to make a headband and I'm doing a scarf to match, so obviously then I'm using larger hawks, and that's why I'm wanting to do trebles all the time, because of that. Right, jump to this corner. Should have done a chain there, but never mind. It's not going to make much difference here. 1, 2 and 3. Like I say, I'm hoping you're following the little one for the actual pattern and not trying to follow this one. This is just sort of me. 1 chain. Going to quickly do you a size comparison. I don't think the 4-ply would come out much different, to be honest. I suppose if you use a bigger hook it would, but I think you're going to get millimeters difference. So 3 half trebles. 1, 2 and 3. This is how fast I crochet, guys. I know some people have accused me of going too fast on the videos, but if I went on my normal speed, you would definitely need to slow me down, I think. I'm not as fast as some people, but I'm relatively quick when I'm working. So we have 1, 2, and I've caught up a metallic in my fingers as well. 1, 2, 3. The red wants to join in. Get over there. 3 half trebles. 1, 2 and 3, bow and chain, and top of that 2, and we've done. Fasten it off, and there you go. I've not put the tree bottom bit on because obviously you can choose your colour, but I think that would make a nice size, you know, if you were doing a garland, if you had like loads of them. I know that's a different size, but look at the size difference, but it is exactly the same thing. So it just shows, just sort of altering the hook, altering the yarn, you can get the different sizes. So from one pattern, you could make yourself a pair of earrings, you could make some tiny tree decorations, you could make a lovely garland, and I really do think it would look nice strung along a nice garland. You could maybe put sort of different ones in between, or maybe you could do, I don't know, you could have a Christmas tree, a snowflake, etc, etc. I do another Christmas tree that I did last year in the Vlogmas. I'll put the link for that, and I think there's a star in there as well and things like that, so you could alternate them around. But I do fancy doing the Christmas trees. I like that green and red and gold and sort of very traditional Christmas look for myself, but you could match it to any colour schemes, and a lot of pink about I've noticed this year, which are absolutely gorgeous. They don't really go with the rest of my things, so I might have the odd pink thing thrown in there, but I won't be doing pink as such. So that is basically it, our quick and simple Christmas tree. If you do enjoy my videos, please like, subscribe and share. It means the world to our subscribers when you do our subscribers. I know, you know, I think I need a cup of tea. I don't know about anything else. I think my throat's getting a bit dry now, but you know what I mean. Please like, subscribe and share. It means a lot to me, if nothing else. And then I would love to see some of these. If any of you have made them, pop them on sort of Instagram, tag me in them, things like that. I do love seeing the items that people make, especially if you do make a garland. I suspect my daughter's going to probably make a garland because she seems to like making them. She did them with the pumpkins. So she'll probably get it done before I will, but I get round to it eventually. Anyway, I will leave you at that, and I will see you all very soon. I have a smart doll tutorial next. We have a little elf shoe, which I'm quite pleased with. But for now, I will see you soon. Bye-bye for now.